Hey guys, welcome to Agyan Adda. I'm Abhikya, your host, and this is a brand new series on React.js for beginners. In this series, I'll start from scratch and learn the basic concepts of React. So, in this introductory video, we learn what is React a framework or a library? Then we learn the basic features of React in detail. Is React component based? The code is reusable, declarative, DOM updates, one-way data binding, and JSX. At the end, I'll tell you the prerequisites you need to know before learning React. Now let's begin. So, what is React? React is a JavaScript library used to build interactive user interfaces. So, in this definition, there are two key points. First is that React is a library, it is not a framework. And second means that the focus of React is only on UI to build interactive user interfaces and nothing else. So it was created by the developers at Facebook and it has a huge community. So Facebook uses React in its own products and it also invests a lot of money and resources in it. So you can understand that React is highly trending and a booming technology. Further, the code in React is significantly less, and you'll use mainly React.js, JavaScript, vanilla JavaScript with React. So, JavaScript is the heart of React. Now, I'll tell you about the basic features of React. So, what features of React we'll discuss are the, the features that makes React stand out from all the other languages. So it is having a component based architecture, which means that the whole page is divided into different components. Then these components are reusable, which leads to less code. Then React is declarative in nature. Then React uses virtual DOM, which has faster DOM updates compared to real DOM. Next, the React has a two-way data binding, which means that the flow of data is only unidirectional. At the end, I'll tell you about JSX and how it is used in React. So to begin with, we'll start with the architecture. So React is component based, which means that the whole page is divided into various components like the navigation bar, the sidebar, the content area, the footer, the header, and so on. So in React, one of the most important feature is that the code is always reusable, which means that suppose we created a sidebar component, then that component is reused in every page. So we do not have to write the code again and again on every page. The code can be reused on all the pages. So reusable component is a piece of UI that can be used in various parts of the application. Next comes React is declarative. So what do we mean by declarative? I'll explain this to you with a simple example. Suppose I have a client who asked me to make a simple shopping application. So he knows nothing about the details of the requirement, about how the code workflow is there, what features will be required. He knows nothing about the requirement. So it's our job to do that. The client only wants the application that can be used for his business. Rest of the work is up to us. This is declarative approach. So declarative approach makes the code more readable and it is easier to fix bugs compared to imperative approach. So then there are faster DOM updates using the virtual DOM. So React uses virtual DOM. This simply means that whenever a component is updated, so for example, a nav bar is content is updated, then the only that component that has the changes will be re-rendered and not the entire page. So Every time, whenever a component changes, the entire page is not rendered, which basically reduces the time taken for DOM updates. So, DOM updates in virtual DOM are faster compared to real DOM. Next, one of the most important and frequently asked interview question is that whether React is a one-way or two-way binding. So we can say that React is has one-way binding, which means basically that the data flow is unidirectional. So components cannot be uploaded directly, and the developers it forces the developers to use callback feature to update the components. Next is JavaScript extension, JavaScript syntax extension. So basically, it is a markup that describes the appearance of the interface of the app. Basically, it means that we can embed HTML-like content into JavaScript code, and that code is called JSX in nature. So React uses only JSX. Now at the end, I'll tell you about the prerequisites we need to know to learn React. First one is HTML CSS. So you need to have basic idea of the styling features. Then is JSX. So JSX you'll mainly learn in React, but you need to have a brief understanding so that you're familiar with the concept. Then fundamental concepts of JavaScript and ESX. This is very important. So before going through this playlist of React for beginners, I recommend you to go through my other playlist on JavaScript and ESX features. Now you don't need to know about npm or Node. You just have to worry about downloading these packages. Git and CLI. CLI every developer is familiar with, and Git you'll need it at the end when you'll push the code on GitHub. So currently there is no use of Git.